Hello, hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Zia or Zaya, whichever one you want to call me, and it is Thursday and I'm back with another review of The Wife. So today I'm doing episode 4, 5 and 6. Yeah, like energy wise guys, my energy is here, like at the bottom, but yeah, I'm gonna try my best to do this the right way and as well as I can. But I was just asking myself this morning, like, how the cast feels when they get to work every day and they get a script of this train wreck. Like, honestly, I don't know how Sister 2 feels, because I am feeling so bad for her. Yo, the storyline, guys, the storyline deserves to be thrown in the trash, to pour some gasoline on it and set it on fire and throw it on the train wreck so a train can just like drive over it, because wow, what a wheel, this is the worst. But anyways, let's get started with this video. So yeah, episode 4 is titled 320 and it opens up with the replacement of Zah, which is normal Zah. So it opens up with normal Zah in jail and she's on the phone with a kid on the other end, so that's her son, I guess, and she's just asking if Nkosana has come through, and the child is like, no one has come. And she's like, are you sure? And he's like, yeah, I'm sure. And she's like, how are you feeling? And the child is like, I'm not getting any better. So now it makes sense why she's in prison, but anyways, you guys will hear at the end. And then she's like, no, don't worry, be strong, everything is gonna work out. So like her you can tell like her demeanor is literally so defeated, because I mean, she's in jail and the person that she's in jail for has not held up the end of the bargain or whatever, yeah, agreement that they have. So it moves from them and it goes to the house, and Zah is making breakfast for the kids. So I don't understand why the kids are at home, but then they stay in boarding school, but they're at home. And you guys, like, there's so many like loopholes, there's so many mistakes that they are making that make no sense. Like, there's things that they are not paying attention to. But anyway, she's making breakfast for the kids, and yeah. And then as she's doing that, Lwandle is like to her, where is Ugupi, Ubaba and Umami? Babuya nini? Like, so she's like, you should not be asking me that question, child. She's like, eat your breakfast. Basically, she's like, eat your breakfast. And she doesn't answer that question. And she goes to the next room, and Mqoqi is there, and she's like, Buti unjani? Because the way, even the way that she asked Buti unjani, like, yo, young Porusa, guys, yo, oh my god, I can't. The fact that I am torturing myself to do this review, like, whew, wow. So she asked Mqoqi how he's doing, and like if he has heard anything, like what's happening, and he's just like, no, he hasn't heard anything, and yeah, he doesn't know nothing, but she shouldn't worry herself about that. It's like, everything's gonna work out. And then she's like, okay. And then she goes back, I guess, to the next room. And then it goes to Mahlomo at the hospital. She's sleeping, and Qhawe's like sitting on the chair sleeping as well. So she wakes up and she looks around and she's just like, where am I? Okay, well, she can see where she is, but she's just like, what am I doing here? So she tries to wake up, and she's like to Qhawe, what am I doing here? And Qhawe doesn't like answer her. He just says she must like rest, the doctor is still doing more tests. So he runs towards her, like he runs, guys. So he runs to her and he's like, no, like lie down and rest, the doctor is still doing more tests. And she's just like, where is Umqhele? So when she asks that question, his face just changes. I don't know what he expects. Like, I don't know what Qhawe expects, guys. Like, I wish someone would tell me what he expects. Does he expect to live happily ever after with his brother's girl? Like, I don't know how that makes sense to him. Like, in his mind, that literally makes sense. So she's like, where's Mqoqi? And he changes. And then she's like, where is Mqoqi? And he's like, Baboshiwe. And she's like, why and when? And then he keeps quiet, and then she's like, "Ungitshela ukuthi umyeni wami usejele kodwa wena ula." Good question, Mahlomo. Good question. Why is she faffing over Umahlomo, whereas he could be doing something, trying to get his brothers out? But no, he is at the hospital when someone else could have taken his place. Langa ukona, Nziga is here. Like, he's acting like Mahlomo has no family except for them. Oh, guys, wow, Qhawe is making me mad. Like, honestly, he's making me mad. And this role that they've written for him, or this narrative that they've written for him, is a toilet. Like, it belongs in the drain, it belongs in the sewers. But yeah, she says that to him, and right, so he says to her not to worry, and then she's like, so he's just like, how and he's like, Qhawe, please leave. So as she says that, Langa comes in, and she's like, oh, and he has like flowers and like a little basket for her, and he is so cold towards Qhawe, as he should. And Qhawe just like walks away. So Langa doesn't even greet him, and Qhawe walks out, and then Langa's like, "Yini ngalo?" And Mahlomo is just like, "Please do not ask," basically. So it moves from him, goes to Mqoqi at the prison, and he is being interrogated by the commissioner. So the commissioner says to him, there's 3 things that you cannot hide: the sun, the moon, and the truth. And then he's like, so which one are you going to tell me? Like, what are you going to tell me? Are you going to tell me the truth? The commissioner's like, you think I'm a joke? And Mqoqi's like, guys, I love Mqoqi, guys. I just love him. He's so blunt, like, so blunt. And the commissioner's just like, oh. And he's like, yeah, you can even ask. You can even ask her. And he's like, okay, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. And then it goes to Nkosana. So it moves from Qhawe and it goes to Nkosana, and Nkosana is also being interrogated. And the commissioner's asking him, Gutsi, tell me, I want to know what happened to my wife. And Nkosana is just like, how? Dude, you asked me to find your wife, and as we speak I have people out there looking for your wife, so why am I here? Like, I don't understand, why am I arrested? And the commissioner is just like, you know why you're here. I want to know who killed my wife. And Nkosana is just like, I don't know where you got that from, but like, it's not me. Because here is you asking me to do something for you, but then here I am in prison for something that I don't even know. And then he says to Nkosana, he will come back when he's ready to talk. So he leaves. So when he leaves, Nkosana lets out a sigh, and then it goes back to Mqoqi, and Mqoqi also lets out a sigh. And then it goes to the taxi rank, to the Majola brothers, and they're meeting with the taxi association people, and they're basically trying to convince them to remove Nkosana from being the chairman of the association. And they tell the people that Nkosana has been arrested. There's this one guy, like, he is the guy who was fighting for Nkosana when to be the chairman when they first decided that he was gonna take the seat. So he's the one again fighting for Nkosana, saying that he is still chairman and the Majola brothers are not getting the seat. Like, they're not gonna sit in that seat until the rightful person comes back. So they feel kind of defeated, and then it leaves from them and it goes to Mqoqi and the brothers, and Mqoqi is singing. They're in the cell, all of them. Mqoqi is singing, and Nkosana just like gets annoyed, and he tells him to stop doing what he's doing. And Ngoba's just like, where is like the people that we pay so much money to come and get us out of such situations? Where are they? Like, Ngobe is supposed to be here, Peter's supposed to be here, but like nobody is here. And Nkosana, you can tell like Nkosana is defeated on his face. Like, he doesn't even know like what to say to them, because yes, he pays these guys, but like they're not here to bail them out. And then it goes to Zah, well, Nomusa in prison, and she is sitting there and there's just worry on her face. and she has a cellmate, a new cellmate. So I guess she was here before Zah, the real Zah, left. And then she's just like to her, Uban, basically like, who are you? And then she keeps quiet. And then she's like, who are you? And Zah's just like, I'm Zah. Zandile. And it's like, I'm not going to sleep. And Nomusa really doesn't pay attention to her. And yeah, it goes to Mahlomu and Langa. And Mahlomu is sleeping, and Qhawe and Langa are just like there looking over her. And then Langa is just like to Qhawe, Qhawe, can I talk to you? And then they go outside. So Langa just comes out straight, and he's just like, Qhawe is just like, I care about your sister since the first time that I saw her. And then Langa asked him about, so what about your brother? And then he says, Mqoqi knows Guti, he took Mahlomu from me. Where? You talking about a girl. You telling your friend Guti you saw, or your brother, that you saw a girl today, and she's really pretty. And how did Mqoqi know that that's the girl that you were talking about? Because he also saw her, and he was just like taken as taken as you were when you saw her the first time. So like, it makes no sense. Like, Qhawe, brother, if you really wanted the girl, you could have done so much more. Like, you could have done so much more. You hear bragging about having her phone number. What is a phone number? Like, if you're not going to use it. Yes, she gave you your phone number, her phone number. So why didn't you use it? So he says that. He's like, Mqoqi uyazi ukuthi wathatha Mahlomu from me. And Langa's just like, the free. Yo, guys, this guy is insane. And he says that Mqoqi doesn't know how to treat Mahlomu because she deserves better than him. Then Langa says, Lento yenzekayo phakathi kwakho noMahlomu ungalinge uyithi vu to nobody. And then Qhawe is just like, I don't care if Mqoqi finds out. Why is he so selfish? Why is he only thinking about himself? He's not thinking about all the other people involved. It's not just him and Mahlomu in this thing, guys. Like, it honestly isn't. That's the thing that he doesn't understand. Qhawe is acting like a teenager. Like, he's acting like a child who is throwing his toys around. Like, I don't understand, like, what he expects to happen. And so he says that, and then Langa's just like, this nigga. So he just leaves Langa there, and then he just like walks back in. And then he goes to the station, and Peter's there to try and bail out his clients, and they tell him that the people that he's looking for are not in this station. Maybe he should try a different station, and he will find them there, because anyone by the name of Zulu is not here. So he leaves defeated, like, oh, Peter, guys, like, and the thing is, with this scene, with this the jail scene, it is basically the scene from when look at how much they've jumped, guys. Like, they've jumped so much, they've skipped so much. So they are basically mixing the scene from what happened in the book one and in book 2 together, Gugu's thing and Mahlomu's thing, the hijacking that happened to Mahlomu, and when Mqoqi and them found the hijackers and the car, and they stopped the car by the freeway, and they beat the hijackers up, and Mahlomu was pregnant, so Mahlomu went to the hospital, and the guys went to jail. So that's basically the storyline that they are running with. So they're taking stuff from book 1 and they're putting them in season 2, and then they're taking things from also Gugu's part, because that part where they got arrested at the house is what happened to Mahlomu and Zah, Gugu, and Mqoqi. So because they don't have all the characters that they are supposed to have already, they just piecing things together. So then it goes back to the house, and Mandisa and Zah are having a good laugh, and Zah's just like, yo, I'm so worried about what's happening to them. Like, at least you know something. At least you might know something. And then Mandisa's like, I don't know anything, and Suzu's stress sana. they're gonna be fine. They have Peter, like Peter is gonna get them out. And Zah's just like, oh, you sure? And she's like, yeah, like they with the money, with the amount of money that they pay him, he's definitely gonna get him out, get them out. And then she's like, yo, the things of this family, like, and then Zah's just like, what do you mean? And she's like, Leanto Mazana. So Leanto Mazana is Hlomo. Like I think we all saw this coming from a mile away, that Zah and Mandisa are gonna gang up on Hlomo. So she's like, Leanto Mazana, yaba bulisha. When has Hlomo bullied any of them? Guys, like what is going on? Like how can a whole 24-year-old bully old men? Like grown men, they are grown men. How is she bullying any of them? And when has she ever bullied any of them? I don't get this. So she's like, she's bullying them. And then Zah says, do you think she bullies Nkosana? And she's like, she bullies all of the men in this home. Yeah, guys, Mahlomu hasn't had, like, if it's not Qhawe, it's her. If it's not her husband, it's Qhawe, and now it's gonna be Mandisa and Zah. Guys, it can't be fair. It can't be fair. Not one person can take all these things coming from every different direction. There's a lot, like, she's dealing with. Like, I can't. Yo, I know. But anyways, it moves from them and it goes to the prison again, and Nomusa is trying to get a hold of Nkosana. Like, she is very stressed. So her cellmate is taking a nap and she decides to give Nkosana a call again, but the phone goes to voicemail and it is in lockup at the station. So yeah, she is like, she's very stressed and agitated. Like she wants to know what's happening. And then goes to Mahlomu and Langa, and he's like, yo, I'm so glad uvukile because I was ready to claim from insurance. And then Mahlomu laughs and they high five together, and she's just like, you crazy. And then he's like, I'm glad Kuti you fine, because I have something very important to talk to you about. And then she's like, Yini. And he's like, so this thing yako no Mqoqi, is it still alive? And then Mahlomu was just like, what do you mean? And then he says to her, what happened between Wen and Qhawe? Like, do you think? And Mahlomu was just like, let's not talk about that. And he's like, no, like, do you think, can you go back to Mqoqi after what happened between you and Qhawe? And she's like, yeah, nginkosazana kaZulu. With so much confidence, guys. Like, she says it with so much confidence. She was like, yeah, nginkosazana kaZulu. And then Langa's like, Nkosazana kaZulu. What about the times when he doesn't treat you like Nkosazana? And then Mahlomu was like to him, Kusemhlabeni lana lang, amaphutha siyawayenza. Which is the truth? It is emhlabeni and amaphutha yenzeka. And then Langa says to her, I think ngivumelana nobaba ukuthi lento yakho nalo muntu wakho, you've made a mistake with this one. And Mahlomu was like, please do not bring dad into the situation because he has accepted the whole thing a long time ago. And then Langa's just like, but Mqoqi has been making mistakes since first time you started dating him. So Mahlomu gets annoyed and she's just like, siyathandana noZulu. Finished. Girl, like, guys. Or in Spidey, like, forget Guti. They've literally messed this relationship up so much. Like, it has gone so far that actually coming back and fixing it or making it how it was when it started is gonna be near to impossible. Like, honestly, it's going to be near to impossible. Like, I don't see how they can get back from all the things that have happened, especially the Qhawe thing, guys. Angiboni. But yeah, she says that. And then Langa says, love alone is not enough. And I think that hits her. Like, because yes, love alone is not enough. The book and the series are two different things, but yeah, here definitely love alone is not enough. But I'm not saying for her to leave Mqoqi and go for his brother. That would, wow, guys, I don't know what that would be, but yeah. And then it goes to the jail again, and the commissioner is laughing at the guys, and he's asking them, Guti, are they ready to talk? Like he can literally do this the whole day, and the ball is in their court, so they need to tell him the truth. And Mqoqi just like loses it. He's just like and Bedumdala is just like, calm down, like calm down. And the commissioner's like, you know what, never find out, you're going to be here for another night. And Ngoba's like, what? That is not happening. And he's like, yeah, you're going to be here for another night. And then Nkosana says to him, we can talk about this. So he doesn't want to hear it. Like, he just wants to hear the truth. And then he goes back to Qhawe and Mahlomu, and he has food for Mahlomu, and Mahlomu's on her phone. So he asks her how she's feeling. Like, unjani Mqoqi, banjani ubhuti bakho? And he's like, no, he hasn't heard anything. And says that he has bought her food, and she's like, Angambang. And then she sees that he's defeated, so she's like, yeah, Langa bought me food, so you can just like put it there. And then the doctor comes in, and she's bouncing, and she's all smiles, and she's like, Mrs. and Mr. and Mrs. Zul. And then Matlom was like, Mrs. Zul. And she's like, okay, I have news for you. And she's like, so I can go home? And she's like, no, it's even better than this. And then she's like, Nikulel. This show is so predictable. Like, it is so freaking predictable. Like, my nephew could have wrote this, and he's only 10, because, and he could have wrote it better. Didn't Qhawe and Mahlomu sleep together the night before? Like, the previous night, like day before yesterday, basically. And now, well, we knew she was going to be pregnant, but like, it cannot be Qhawe's baby, guys. It cannot, like, as inspired as it is, like, it cannot. It makes no sense whatsoever. I refuse to believe it. So she says that, and Mahlomu's face is just like, what the fuck? Literally, like, she's just like, like, her actions are catching up with her. Her actions are catching up with her. And yeah, it ends with her. And then it goes to episode 5, and it is a broken telephone. So it opens up with the guy still in jail, and Mqoqi is fed up, guys. Like, he is done for. And like, he's really pressed. Like, he's really pressed that they're still in jail. So he asks where the people that they pay are. Like, where is Ngobe? Like, where is Ngobe? And Ngobe's like, yes, like, where are these people? Because I'm tired of being here. I'm tired of sleeping on concrete. Like, I'm tired of sleeping on concrete, and yeah, my back is sore. And then Nkosana says they need to calm down, and as he's saying that, an officer comes, and Ngoba's just like, ooh, what are you doing here? So he says something along those lines, and then this guy just like hands him the phone, and he's just like, oh, okay. So he gets excited, and he's like, yeah, let me call my Randumiso and find out how she's doing. And Nkosana's like, no, bring the phone here, let me call Qhawe and find out what Peter is doing. So Nkosana takes the phone, dials Qhawe's phone. Qhawe's still at the hospital. Figures. And he's like, what's happening? Like, where are you? Like, what's going on? What's going on with you and Peter? And Qhawe's just like, Peter was at the station, and they told him that you guys are not there, you have been moved. And Nkosana's just like, what are you doing out there? That's making you not be able to get us out of here. and he doesn't answer him. And then he's like, you know what, you need to go and you get Peter and make sure you get us out from this place. And he's like, yeah, I'll get Peter, and yeah, we'll do that. And then Nkosana hangs up. Qhawe is more worried about a woman who is not his wife more than he is worried about his brothers who are in jail for a crime that they did commit, but also have been in jail for over 24 hours. And he does not seem to be in any, he doesn't seem to show any state of agency, none whatsoever. He doesn't seem to care that they're there. So in a way, for him, that is like, Mqoqi is kind of like out of the picture when they go to jail, so he can just like swiftly move into his wife. I'm defeated. Like it's beyond me. Like I can't. So, and then it goes to Mahlomu again. So after the call, Qhawe goes back in, and so Qhawe is just like, so he finds her there, and he's just like, I thought you'd still be sleeping. And then Mahlomu's just like, no man, just say like Qhawe. Hi guys, Qhawe is annoying me. Like, he's annoying me on behalf of Mahlomu and Mqoqi. Like, I am legit annoyed by him. Why is he still there? Like, your brother just called. So yeah, she asked him that. She's like, and then he says, someone has to be here and look after you. And he asks her, what is she watching? So she says to him, she's headed up to here with him. Like, she's literally headed up to here. She's so done. And she says, you could be carrying my child. And my mom was like, Angzwang. Ungazong betela wena ingane kaMqhelele. Guys, what is this? What is it? What is this? What is this? What is this? I love how she says it though. Like, she is so done with him. Like, she's so annoyed by his presence, nje. Like, his presence being there. So she's like, ungazongibhedela wena ingane kaMqhelele. And then Qhawe is like, how do you know? And she's like, because ngiyazi. And then Qhawe is like, does Mqoqi know that to meet? Atuzowazi kanjani makasejele? That is a dumb question. How will he know? How? Because he's been in jail for over 24 hours and you don't want to move to help him get out. Yo, guys, Qhawe. I. And then he says to her, you know there's a better life than Le. Awe ma. Ay, guys. You know there's a better life than this one. Yes, there could be a better life than this one, but are you the better life? He's basically saying he's the better life. And Mahlomu just like turns her back and she looks that way, and she closes her eyes, and then she tells him to leave her alone. So he tries to talk, and she's just like, yo, Qhawe, like, dude, go, my nigga, like, go. Oh, Qhawe, there's so many girls, guys, there's so many girls. There is so many girls out there, like, so many fishes in the sea. He just wants this one fish that does not belong to him and does not want to belong to him. They literally, I feel like we're gonna be seeing this until season 3, and yeah, they're gonna run with this until season 3. That's if not. Ooh, but yeah, Naledi is a book on her own, so I don't know how this is gonna feature into Naledi, and yeah, Naledi his love, because your Qhawe has his love already in his brother's wife. So it doesn't look like Naledi is gonna be the main girl. So yeah, it goes from them and it goes to Zah and the Nomusa, not Zah. Nomusa is calling Nkosana's phone. So Nkosana's phone rings again and goes to voicemail, and then she calls another number that she has on the paper, and that number goes to the house. So as Zah is passing the passage or the door or whatever to Nkosana's study, she hears this phone ringing. It's another cell phone. She takes it. I don't know if it's hers or so she takes the cell phone and she looks at the number and she waits, she hesitates in answering, and then she finally answers, and then hello, and then Nomusa says Zandile, and then Zah hangs up and puts the phone, and then Nomusa's cellmate takes the phone, like Mqoqi phone, and is like, yeah, I knew what you were lying, now you're gonna tell me who you are. And Nomusa's just like, Zandile. It's like, Ngokuzwile, you said Zandile, so who are you? So if you don't want to tell me, I will go and tell the warden, Guti, this is not Zandile. And then she starts screaming for the guard to come, but no one comes. And she's like, okay, I'll tell you. She's like, no, Zandile. Oh, she's like, no, Zandile. It's like, no, Namang, tell me who you are. And then it moves from them to Ngoba. And Ngoba is the one being interrogated by the commissioner. So the commissioner is trying to offer him a deal. So he says, I have an affidavit here. So all you have to do is just like write what crimes your brothers have been involved in. And Ngoba just sits and looks at him and he's like, no, here, take a cigarette. And he's like, I'm not trying to bribe you. Sorry. I'm not trying to bribe you with the cigarette. So Ngoba takes the cigarette and this guy lights it for him, and he just sits like a balafo, and he's like, yeah, you tell me everything about your brothers and I will give you immunity. Maybe if he was asking Qhawe, then yes, but he is asking Ngoba to turn against his brothers. He has no luck. So Ngoba just like looks at him and he listens and just keeps quiet. And it goes to the Majola brothers, and they are meeting up with some guy, and then it goes to Peter. Peter. I just called him Peter. Peter. It goes to Peter, and Peter is supposed to be a white man. Tugolo Shuabu. That's what they call him. Tugolo Shi Upita is supposed to be white and married to another white woman who has ginger hair, and he's supposed to have a son. But anyways, Peter is a black guy and he's tall, and he gets to the station and he is talking with one of the guards, and they're still refusing him entry. So as he's talking to this guard who's just like mute, Ngobe comes and he's like, hey, how can I help you? And he's like, yeah, I'm trying to see my lawyers, I'm trying to see my clients. And he's like, who are your clients? And he starts naming them, and he's like, oh, I was okay, excuse me for his incompetence, he's still new, so let me just take you to them. And then he goes with Peter to where the guys are, and it goes back to Zah and her cellmate, and they're still arguing over the phone, and Nomusa just doesn't want to say what's happening. And this girl is like, I'm gonna call and see who answers the phone because you don't want to tell me. And then she just takes her chances. She calls and the phone just rings, and Zah just looks at it because, I mean, she knows who's calling. So doesn't answer, and then this girl's like, you lucky no one answered, but I am on to you. And then she gives her back the phone. And then he goes back to Ngoba, and he is still with the commissioner, and the commissioner is asking him to turn on his brothers, and Ngoba just like doesn't give him what he wants. So he gets annoyed and he hits the table and he stands up and he is the big bad bear. And he's like, you know what, you and your friends are going to spend 20 years in jail and all you're going to be eating is bap in namanzi and shugel. And I was just like sitting there and smoking his cigarette. And as he is going on at Ngoba, Peter walks in. So Peter walks in and he's like, this interrogation is not legal. And then the commissioner is like, he has evidence. And Peter is like, I would like to see that evidence in court and see how far this case is gonna go. But yeah, I'm gonna take my client. So it tells Ngoba to stand up and they leave. Commissioner is fuming because, I mean, what evidence does he have? The Majola's brother's word? Where is the body? Where is the body that belongs to his wife? So if he can find the body, then yes, he has a case. But right now, it's just hearsay. And the Majola brothers have a quarrel that they want to settle. So they could be lying. But yeah, he is just going to take their word. Anyways, it moves from him and then it goes to Langa and Mahlomu. And Langa's like, yo, I can't believe it. So I guess she's telling him about what Qhawe said. So Langa's just like, yo, I can't believe it. And then he asks Guti, so Zandile? And then she's like, what about Zandile? I said, did you and Zandile use protection? I was waiting, guys. I was waiting a mehlabov. I was waiting for her answer because I was ready to get in that TV if she said that she slept with Zandile without protection. And she's like, no, me and Zandile slept with protection. The fact that she even had the time to wait for Zandile to put on protection and still think it's a good idea for her to sleep with this man. Like, kanjani? How? She still thought it was a good idea to cheat on Mqoqi. Crazy Mqoqi. Guys, she doesn't value herself, she doesn't value her life. So she's like, no, her and Zandile use protection. And then Mlanga's like, Qhawe. And then she looks down. And then she says something that's just like shattered and defeated me and defeated Langa. She's like, she doesn't know Guti, she's gonna keep the baby or not. Langa's just like, huh? And then she's like, I'm still mourning my first baby. Which is the truth. She is still mourning her first baby. But yeah, girl was just giving it away. Like, she was just like, here. Literally to all the guys. Like, okay, we didn't see her sleeping with Mqoqi because we all thought that she was not sleeping with Mqoqi. Since he beat her and she had the miscarriage, but clearly she was sleeping with you guys. Guys, how do you sleep with 3 guys in a matter of 4 days? Guys, I honestly don't like the way that they are making Mahlomu seem like such a hoe. Like, where is the Mahlomu, the matriarch of the family, the woman who brought these people together like no other? I remember the first time that she had dinner with the brothers. It was unplanned. So she was cooking and Mqoqi's like, uyapheka, and she's like, yes. And then he calls his brothers and he lets them know that she's cooking and they must come over. So now she must cook for all these men and the kids. So she was so easy, guys. Like, she was so easy in how open she was to them. So yeah, she cooks for all of them and she does wifely duties basically. So she gives them their food and she makes them wash their hands in a bowl, and she brings a warm cloth to wipe their hands, and then she gives them their food, okay, without the kneeling, which is fine. And the one thing that Mqoqi said when they were sleeping, or when they were finally trying to when they went to bed, he was like, you are very good at this. And she was like confused at what he means. What is she good at? And he was like, you are very good at this. And she was like, what? And he was like, bringing us together as a family. So a woman who is only meeting these men for the second time, basically after the hospital incident and she got shot, and then her significant other, who is not even her husband yet, just a boyfriend, was saying how good she is at bringing the family together. And then you find Inspired saying Umahlung is a hoe. She's just sleeping around with anything and everything that moves, basically. I can't wrap it around my head. I can't seem to accept that, guys. Like, I can't accept it. Like, angkhoni ngiyazama yazi, but I can't. Like, this is not the mahlomu that we signed up for. This is not the mahlomu that book readers were asking to sign away her book and make it into a show to get a mahlomu that is like this. Kanjani, like, how does that make sense to them to make mahlomu like this? Like, it's just vibes there at Staying Class, guys. It's just vibes, and these vibes are ruining someone's life who has dedicated her life to writing these books, and they are so personal, not only to her, but like they're personal to her readers as well. So how do they expect us to be okay with such nonsense? Like, such a character, such a tainted character who was so strong and so smart and so loving and so motherly and so caring, and they reduced her into a hoe, a cum bucket. Literally, it makes me so upset. But yeah, goes to Zah, and it goes to the house, goes to the house, and the boys are back from being in jail. They look so disgusting. They look so tired and defeated, and all they need is like a hot warm bath or shower or whatever. So they get there, and Zah meets them by the foyer, and he asks them Qhawe how he's doing, and he's like, he's had better days. And then she looks at her man, and she gets closer to him, and Mqoba says he's gonna go to the house to check on Umandisa and Undumiso. And Sambulo says, take my car, hands him the keys, and then he walks out. And then Zah asks how Nkosana's doing, and he's like, he'll be fine. He's just like, glad to be back. And she's like, I don't want to, I was so scared, and I didn't get like a wink of sleep. I don't want this to happen again. And Nkosana's like, no, it won't happen again. It has been taken care of. And then she's like, okay. And then it goes back to the Majola brothers, and they're meeting with another guy. And he also takes out an envelope with money, but this one is like smaller. And then Keja's just like, hi, what is this? And he's just saying, Guti, there's not enough roots for them to make money, so this is all he has for now. And they're like, until you can have more money, yeah, we're not gonna give you like everything that you want. And then he says, yeah, that's understandable, and then he leaves. And then these two are just like going over how they are going to destroy the Zulu brothers. I didn't pay attention, guys, because Bayang Dina Abu Majola, just like the whole show, Young Dina Sonje, I didn't even entertain their parts. So it moves from them, and it goes to Mandisa and Mqoba. Mqoba has taken a bath, and he's just like laying on her thighs, and he's like, you know that Toad you know that Toad wants to pin the death of his wife on us. And then Mandisa's like, yeah, but this is your fault, Vele. And Mqoba's just like, how? dude, like, I apologize. And she's like, yeah, but it's not like I forgot. And then he's like, yeah, okay. And then he's like, you know what, I'm hungry. Ngilambile. And then Mandisa's like, oh, there's a fridge full of food. And he's like, I accidentally ngilambile. And then she's like, oh. And then they get like all flirty, and then they drink quickly, and then they run inside the house basically. And then it moves from them and it goes to the house. Guys, I understand this scene. Like, Mqoqi comes back from prison, or comes back from jail, and he doesn't go looking for his wife. Instead, he waits for her to come back home. Make it make sense. Like, make it make sense. Your wife is not home. Where do you think she is? So Mahlomo and Qhawe walk in, and Mqoqi just stands up immediately, and he goes and rushes to her, and he's like, so Zah looks at Mahlomo and Qhawe. So he's like, I was so worried about you, like I was sick and worried about you. And she's like, yeah, Namfuti, I was worried about you guys. And he's like, are you fine? And he's like to Qhawe, he looks at Qhawe and he's like, where were you guys? What happened? And then Qhawe's like, Mahlomo fainted when she heard about you guys getting arrested. And then they show Zah, she's here. She's eyeing what's happening, guys. Like, she's paying so much attention at the interaction that is happening right there. Mandisa planted a seed. Mandisa planted a seed in her mind. So now she's going to be looking at every nick and cranny when it comes to every nook and cranny when it comes to Mahlomo and what she does and what she says. So she's just like looking at them, observing. And then yeah, Qhawe says that, and then Mqoqi is just like, I was so worried about you. So he kisses her and says to her she shouldn't be worried so much, and yeah, everything is fine. And then he goes and he sits her down and he says to her she needs something to eat. And he says to Nzia, please dish up for your mommy. And Zah's just like looking, guys, she is paying attention, like she wants to see what's happening. And yeah, Mahlomo can't, Nziga hugs Mahlomo, and then when he lets go, she looks at where Zah's sitting, and then her eyes divert to where Qhawe is sitting, because he's sitting literally in front of her. And then she shalazes, yeah, ashalaza mehlo wakhe, and like it's so uncomfortable. Even Nkosana is just like, I don't know if he's feeling something or like he's getting something. But yeah, he also just like looks very weird. And then Zah is just like sitting there, and she's looking at both of them. She takes a drink and she sips on it, and then she puts it down. Ngile Mahlomo, ngile. Yo guys, I yabona babathi khona umuntu ongathola uphumula, it's Mahlomo, because now Zah is going to be a policeman, like police watchdog behind her. So it ends there. And then it goes to episode 6, which is Get Me Out. Get me out of here! Get me out of here! Get me out of here. So it opens up with Mqoqi, and he's on the bed and he's busy on his phone. So he's just like hearing sounds coming from the bathroom, and then yeah, he just hears like someone's convulsing. And then he drops his phone and he jumps out of bed like immediately. And then he's like, Shlomo, are you fine? And he gets into the bathroom. He finds her bent over the toilet seat. So she's vomiting. And then she's like, yeah, I think it's probably something I ate. And he's like, no, let me take you to the doctor. And she's like, like she says it so roughly to him. She's like, So she's like, no, she's not hiding anything from him. They will speak when she gets back from work. And then he says, yeah, you see, this is what I mean. Even now, you are ignoring me. And then last night, and then he says, even Bengzama, and you denied me. And then she just like pauses. And then he says to her, I don't know what to do anymore. And then she's like, I will come back early today from work and then we'll spend some time together. And then we'll even go and buy ice cream. Doesn't this man smile? Legit smiles at the mention of ice cream. And then he's like, really? And she's like, yeah. And then she kisses him on the forehead. So easy to convince him. Like, just bribe him with ice cream and... So easy to convince him. Just bribe him with ice cream and yeah, it's over. So yeah, she does that. And then it goes to the taxi rank, and the Majola brothers are speaking to the guys of the association, and they're telling them about how Nkosana and them have been arrested and how they need to choose a new chairman. And what guys, like, why are they still here? Just like Mandisa, why is she still here? So yeah, the others, some of them are agreeing that they need to choose a new person to take over, and this one guy who has been standing by the Zulus is just like not hearing this. And then it moves to from the taxi rank to them being in the office that belongs to the chairman, I guess. And they are still trying to sell to these guys that Nkosana is not fit to be chairman and they need to choose somebody. So Ugwaza suggests that they choose his brother because he is the rightful person for this position. And as the other fat one, like, he's just a traitor, he says yeah, he definitely agrees with the Majola brothers, and yeah, Geja should be the new chairman and Nkosana should be out. And as they agree, the brothers walk in. So they walk in and Geja and Nkosana just like shook. Kutsi, how are they here? They're supposed to be in prison. And Nkosana's like, there's no need for that, guys, because I am here. And Geja's like, Nkosana is not fit to be chairman, and he's going to bring all his problems to their association, and the other associations are going to think they are a joke. And then Nkosana says, you know what, guys, leave us, let me have a conversation with my brothers, because I feel like one of them should take the seat. Yes, I have problems, so I feel like one of my brothers should take responsibility of the association, and then ask them to leave. So they get out, and then it goes to Mahlomo, and she's at the office, and Buntle is like, I think we should go out for drinks. And Mahlomo was just like not paying attention to her. She's like, I'm still busy. And then Buntle's like, yeah, no, we can just like ask Mr. L we can just tell Mr. L that we're doing some field work, and you can just take your laptop and we can finish an article over drinks, because she has finished with hers. And Mahlomo's like, good for you. And then Buntle's just like, how? What's going on? And Mahlomo's like, I'm sorry, it's just that this article is stressing me out. And then Buntle's like, okay. And then she walks around and then she looks at her and she's like, hi guys, I give the show this. So Mahlomo just starts packing her stuff, and Buntle's like, where are you going? And she's just like not answering her. She takes her stuff and she's like, Mahlomo takes her stuff and she walks away. And then it goes back to Nkosana and his brothers in the office, and then Ngoba says it's obvious that he should take the seat of chairman. And then as he's talking, Qhawe jumps in and he says, I think I should be the one who takes the seat, because I have proven myself and how I can keep order. And Nkola's like, where? Because everything else is in shambles. So what are you talking about? And Ngoba laughs. And then Butumdala asks Usambulu, what does he think? And Sambulu's just like, any decision that you make, I am going to support it. And then Ngoba turns to Qhawe and says, hey, when I'm Qhawe, I don't understand how you want this seat, because whenever we want you, you are never around. Guys, isn't Qhawe the one who's never around? Like, Qhawe has only been missing because of the Zah thing, okay, which is a big milestone, and also them being in prison. That's when he was missing. But like, Nkele is always the one who's MIA. But anyways, Ngoba says that, and then Qhawe just keeps quiet, and then Butumdala just says Ngoba's going to take the seat. Ngoba gets excited and he kisses his brother on his bald head. And Nkosana's just like, "Aye, wena." And then it goes to Mahlomo and Langa at Langa's place in Berea. And Langa has champagne, and Mahlomo's like, "Aye, kanjani, nkulelwe." And Langa's like, "No, I went to go and buy the non-alcoholic one so you can drink it." And then she's like, "Okay." And he's like, "Yeah, pop champagne." So he pops the champagne and pours them a drink. And yeah, Mahlomo drinks it, and she just like puts it back in the glass, and she's like, "Ah, this is disgusting. I cannot drink this." And then it goes back to the brothers at the office, and the guys come back in, and then Ngoba says, Nkosana says, "I've made a decision, and the person who's gonna take over my seat is my brother Long Lamayo." And then Gwaza's just like, "Ngoba," and Ngoba's just like too happy, and he's like, "Yeah." And then he makes a speech and how he's gonna turn the whole thing around, and then he tells them to leave. So yeah, the guys go, and go back to Mahlomo and Langa, and Mahlomo is laying on Langa, and Langa says, oh, and then her phone rings. Buntle, I guess, is calling because she just like ignores it, and then Buntle calls Langa's phone, and then as Langa's about to answer, she's like, don't answer. And then Langa's like, why? It's like, no, I just wanted to just be the two of us just for today. And then he's like, oh, okay. And then he's like, okay, let's watch a movie. And she's like, yeah. Then it goes to Zandile, and she's at the house, and she's pacing up and down, and she's worrying about why Nomusa was calling. Is she changing her mind? Like, what is it? So she's just like, oh, should I call her? Shouldn't I call her? So she decides. She doesn't decide. She's undecided about what's happening, actually. And then she just doesn't call her. And then it goes to the boys. It goes back to the boys, and then Ngoba says he has an idea. He thinks they should kill the commissioner, and Sambulu says, I second that. At that time, Qhawe and Qhawe are sitting together there by the couch, and Butumdala's like, we're not going to kill any more people because it's not going to work. I have something that is very important to me back, and we are hiding something that is very important. That is very important also. So we can't be trying to kill people because that's going to come back to us. And then Ngoba's like, maybe I said it the wrong way. Commissioner. I also think they should, though, because at this point, like, he's not gonna stop. He's not gonna stop until he finds out what happens to Balisa. And also the Majola brothers, like, the fact that they're not piecing it together, guys, it's grating my tits. It's grating my tits, like, I can't lie. But yeah, so Butumtala's like, no. And then he says he's gonna leave because he has something very important that he needs to do, and Ngoba, no killing. So yeah, everybody leaves Ngoba in his new office, and then it goes to the house, and Zah and Nkosana. So it goes to Zah and Nkosana, and the kids are in the pool and they're swimming. Nkosana is busy there in the betrayal up in Yam. So the breast end Uza we are figure, and she says to him, the salads are done. Since when can Zah cook, guys? Like, when she said that, I was like, how Uza we are peg, because Sinasazuza was peg. But she says that, and then Nkosana is, and she asks Kuti how far is the meat, and he's like, no, it's gonna be ready in a few minutes. And then she's like, I think the kids need to the school, the boarding school is too far, and the kids need to come back home. Guys, Kanjani, the kids are here. In the morning, the kids were there. Okay, not the same day, the other day, the kids were there. And she was making them breakfast. Weren't they supposed to be at boarding school already? And then here, the kids are here, and she's saying that if boarding school is too far, she thinks that they should change schools. Hey guys, like, the mistakes that these things, that this production is making, but Nkosana says, yeah, no, it's fine, they can change the schools, he doesn't mind. So I guess, yeah, she has started with dethroning Mahlomo from her matriarchal seat, which is invisible. While Nkosana is talking to Zah, he gets a call, and then he goes to the prison to meet with Nomusa. And then Nomusa is just like, where were you? Like, I've been trying to call you. And then he tells her, Uti, he was arrested, so he couldn't get back to her. And she's like, so I want out. And then he's like, no, like my children need me and Uza need me. And I'm thinking, don't her child need her? Like her son also needs her. Like it's not only about you. And then she's like, I want out. I can't do this anymore. And he's like, no, when I know, so you can't do that. Like I promise, I'm gonna make sure that your child gets his surgery and your mom also is taken care of. And I guess, yeah, she folds. And then it goes to Mahlomo and Langa, and Mahlomo is sleeping, guys. Yo, guys, why do they not want Mqoqi to redeem himself, guys? Yo, with that warning in the beginning of the episode, and I was just like, oh, Mahlomo's gonna get beat again, guys. I can't. So Mahlomo was sleeping, and she wakes up because of the vibration of her phone on the table. So when she wakes up, she looks at her phone and she sees the missed calls from her husband. Baby Jake, what's up? Wherever he is. Mahlomo takes her phone and she's just like, I have to go. Langa's like, but it's already late, you can just go. She's like, no, I have to go. Mqoqi is probably mad wherever he is. Yeah, because she promised to spend time with him and she didn't call him. Like, guys, the way Mahlomo exanga corner for a married woman, like she doesn't communicate. Communication is very important, babes. Like, communicate with your husband, let him know where you are. No, sis never does that. But anyways, she leaves in a hurry and it shows Mqoqi is pissed, guys. Like, if it could, smoke would be coming out of his ears. He is holding this phone. He had just tried to call her and she didn't answer. And he is breathing so hard. When you know something is about to go down. Yes. And luckily, Mahlomo walks in. And then he is just like breathing hard. He's like Mahlomo is so scared. Like she is so scared. I'd be scared also because guys, why do they want Mqoqi to be the animal all the time? Guys, ang satand. And no, in the book Mqoqi didn't beat Mahlomo as much as they are trying to make it seem like. It seems like Bazondo Mqoqi and Mahlomo, guys, they hate that book so much. Like Bayazonda, they want to ruin it so badly. So when she walks in, she doesn't say anything and she is just like, and then he drops his phone. And when he turns, just as he is about to turn, she's like, Zulumkulel. Yeah, that saved her, guys. That literally saved her. When she said Zulumkulel, he was just like, and then he was like, regulating the breathing. Guys, and then he had a smile, smirk. He's still angry, but like he's happy that she's pregnant. Yeah, so it ends like that, and all I can say is this is a sorry excuse for a production. Ooh, guys, what a wow. The fact that Mahlomo has been dethroned and Zandile is the matriarch. At that point, Showmax has not trended not even once since season 2 started, but apparently it has viewed the first season. How funny that is. I mean, what are the numbers? But anyways, I can't. Like, guys, this is upsetting me and my homegirls that Mahlomo is not the matriarch. Like, it is really upsetting us. Like, I don't understand. Like, do they not see the significance of what Mahlomo is to the show or to the story? Because she's very important. So also in the telenovela, she's supposed to be important. And that's why she's the only person who keeps on trending. And like, are they going to keep on having Mqoqi hit her all the time, guys, when he doesn't find her? And why doesn't she communicate? Because she knows that every time her phone rings and she doesn't answer, this man goes into beast mode. So every time you guys are on the phone and you guys are communicating. And the fact that Zah is after Mahlomo, for what? For what, girl? Please let us know, for what? Qhawe, not your husband. So why is Zah after Mqoqi. Guys, it makes no sense. This girl took care of this this ungrateful woman's kids, and she's gonna come and she's gonna try and mess up her life. Woo! Season 2, like, it's literally nonsense, guys. Nonsense. I don't know what lie they're trying to sell us, but it's not getting sold at all, because next week we're gonna see Mqoqi heavily pregnant or giving birth. At this rate she's gonna be either heavily pregnant or giving birth. But anyways, that's the end of the 3 episodes, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe, comment down below, and get your bell notifications on for my future videos. Thank you guys for watching.